What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. Welcome to Quantum Ascend. Gonna do a little charts and coffee today. Take a look around the macro. Right now, got Bitcoin up the daily chart and just a little bit of slop, man. But we are building a flag. If we go back here, we got higher highs. This is still going, and higher lows, right? So far everything's okay. We look initially. I mean, this isn't too strong of a support here, but we did draw back here connecting those tops, and sure enough right now, like, kind of battling it, broke above, got up to that B wave, got rejected, but we've closed above the 702 every day so far, right there at 107.9. I was actually watching it the other day when we were right here, and I was like, I'm optimistic that this thing could close back above it. Sure enough, it did. Today down a little bit, only 0.75%, but I mean, guys, we've been talking about this for a while, getting back up into these retracements, flagging, and then once we break that flag, it should be time for for the alts to go. So again, let's see if we can keep just kind of stair stepping our way up here um, before it really pops. So I'm looking at this 110.6. I'm looking at that B wave high. I think once we do break through that, obviously you always have to worry about the that local high or former all-time high. But I think once we do that, it's going to be with a little bit of pace. I think it'll leave some people behind. So why am I on the wrong thing? Here we go. Bitcoin dominance. All right. Like we talked about, I think it was on Thursday or Friday. We were saying, I wouldn't be surprised if this thing just kind of waddled throughout the weekend and no significant price action happened. Sure enough, that's pretty much what's going on right here. Again, we're at that same level we were at last time it broke down with some velocity. And right now, slowly breaking outside this last, this wick and this wick, one of the outer trend lines here. Starting to do it. There's really even nowhere to connect this thing. So if you wanted to, I mean, this is some weak shit. I wouldn't even count this, but we'll throw it up anyway because we're messing around. Parallel channel taking that wick. You see an intersection here with that 65%. Guys, we're right there, man. Again, I've been saying it for a week. There's a narrative. There's a narrative coming. I don't know what it is. I don't know when it's gonna come, but we're just kind of waiting on that right now. It feels like it's in the works, and that's how we would get a break up in Bitcoin and a break down on this. But I mean, if we just do a little something like this, you can see, like, we're just let's break down from this flag here, man. And we have this whole channel that we've been in, back since May for this particular one, but in general, Bitcoin dominance has been in an uptrend since December when the alts topped. This has been a pain in the ass as an altcoin holder, but it's coming to an end, guys. A lot of lines up here, not a fan of it, but this thing will break down. This thing will break down sooner than later here, so we'll get there. Just keep being patient. Ethereum, there we go. Back up inside that original formation that we had. So did finally, we talked about, we were just pressed under here between the 382 and that lower trend line there. And finally we got the breakthrough. We came down and we back tested it right here. Beautiful. And now we're just kind of waiting, guys. Again, that moment, just stair stepping up, waiting on that moment for that big pop. And you can see right here that once we did bust through that trend line, did it with some conviction. That was a nice 7% day when all was said and done. But at the high, even more than that, right? Came back down, like we said, back tested this whole channel. Caught a little bit of a bounce yesterday, and today still waiting. Stock market's not open for another hour. So we, again, a lot of this stuff is driven by the U.S. stock market and how investors are feeling about that. Total 3 still inside our channel. Broke out of that high, so connecting these two outermost wicks here, broke out of it, back tested it pretty perfectly right here. We hit it. So again, let's see if we can get a bounce. These things are all like in the same spot, man. It's kind of hard to come on here and say it, but we're just taking a look, checking it out together. The DXY did get that 7th, drops down into the area that we've been talking about, caught a little bit of a bounce. Let's see if that's it. Again, don't really care what happens here with the dollar. We got that big drop that we had anticipated, which, again, back here in 2020 preceded our alt season. Our alt season happened right here in the yellow. This whole drop happened beforehand. And last week, I want to say it was, we were talking about being right down in this level here. Grab this guy. Like we're probably like right around in this level here. So pretty close to a bottom. Let's see if we can form that. Gold. Where are we at on gold? Let's check it out. Come on, man. Gold is starting to break down again. So remember last week we talked about 5 waves. I said could catch a little bit of a bounce, but I expect it to roll back over. Sure enough, that's exactly what happened. We got a little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you could even call this the crashing pattern that we talk about. Roll back up into wave 4 for a 6. Come back down to take that out for a 7. So that's what we're waiting on. Let's see this thing keep dropping here on gold. Have some of that money pour into stocks and crypto. The Russell, the alt, pretty much the indicator for the altcoins. Oops. Got above a major retrace here last week. What is that? The 3618 of, oh my God, that's a long range. Let's see. How far does this go back? Yeah, this is an extension of the Russell going back to the 2008 crash. Look at that. And we're right up there. So what we're waiting on is a full extension. We haven't gotten it yet, right? This is the monthly, but you can see it looks pretty good. We're going to be swinging up here out of bear territory, still a little neutral bearish. We're about to get a bullish MACD cross right here. I think the next few months are going to rip here for the Russell guys, and then that should be it. But as the Russell rips, crypto rips, so we love that this chart looks as ripe as it does. The Dow Jones futures, wow, button up. Today could be the day the Dow breaks into a new all-time high. We tapped it last week. Oh, this is still the monthly here. Let's do this. Yep, tapped it last week. This is today, the futures, just waiting, right? The NASDAQ still off in a new all-time highs. The S&P off in a new all-time highs. So, guys, everything's looking good. Crypto's just waiting on its bid, and it's going to get it. It's going to get it. Like, I don't want to say that this thing could drop back down. It's allowed to, and nothing would be broken. But we've been talking about for a while, our base case is building a bull flag up here, and that kind of looks like that's what's happening right now. So we just got to chill. We got to let this thing resolve itself a little bit. And sooner or later, guys, we're going to get that pop. This thing's going to go. And once this thing breaks and we get past that all-time high, alts are sending. And I'm telling you, you're going to see the capital rotation. Bitcoin's not going to have the gas you think it does. So that's it. I'm running too long. If you guys could do me a favor, follow, like, repost. Been doing TA a long time. Just want to help as many of you as I can. I released an ebook a couple weeks ago on building the perfect crypto portfolio. You can check that out. Link in my Twitter bio or the description of this YouTube. Thank you guys so much. Have a great Monday. I'll talk to you in a little bit.